Over the last few months, the whole thing has died down with the bear market. What are your thoughts on GameFi today?
There are two different people that we need to address. GameFi and every trend that comes is basically, if you look at the hype, it's about the investors in crypto that get excited about the possibilities. If you look at the possibilities of the tech side, what it can do, GameFi will unlock enormous amounts of value for people that currently cannot access it. Enabling games to generate revenue and money for a lot of people is something that has not happened before. So GameFi is not a trend, it is not a hype. It is here to stay. Of course, the models that come out of GameFi, or which one is the most successful one, we're still going to find out because we're at the beginning of this. So this is why it's exciting, and this is where the opportunity is. Games will be more regarded as assets than just passing the time and paying some developer for having fun.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ben, and as usual, I am the host for today's podcast. Today, we have Daniel Tamas, the founder of WAM. Welcome to the show, Daniel.
Hey, Benjamin. Very glad to be here. Hello, CoinGecko community. Really excited about today's podcast.
Yeah, so I kind of stumbled there with introducing WAM, and it's with good reason, right? Because WAM's a lot of things. So, but before we begin, I always like to ask our audience, not our audience, our speakers, what got you into crypto in the first place?
Besides the fact that it's exciting and changing the world like a technology, I could find several reasons. But what got us into crypto, like really, really brutal honest, is that we saw the opportunity of growing WAM way bigger than we thought it could be. And we saw that really smart people are working and innovating in crypto. And we decided we have to be with the smart people, and we have to be where the excitement is, and we have to build for the future. So this is the reason why we're here.
Now, getting to the crux of the question, what is WAM, right?
WAM is a crypto gaming platform where people can play simple tournaments in order to win crypto rewards like NFTs and the WAM token. This is in a simple nutshell what WAM is.
Call yourselves a platform, but are you a game as well? Do you consider yourself a game?
Well, we consider ourselves a platform, like a combination between Roblox and TikTok. So if you were to marry the two, WAM would be the app because we offer a new game discovery experience in the form of swiping up and down, and on a feed. We have different feeds depending on the difficulty. And the Roblox part of the app would be the fact that we want to open the developer program where people can come in and publish their HTML5 game with us and basically make money.
That's very interesting because before we get into that, right, you were talking about how, you wanted to get into crypto and everything. And could you please share about WAM's history and how your team started before crypto and, after joining crypto?
Very, very short. My career in games started in 2007 with my first company. Back then, we made viral games for the web. Right now, the total number of gameplays is about 1.9 billion gameplays in the past 13, 14 years. It's a number. We're proud of it. Even more sessions, closing up to 4 billion sessions in the browser. So we knew technology, browser technology specifically. We started out when Flash was alive, and then we switched to HTML5. Fast forward to WAM. We started, Alex, my co-founder, and myself have been working together for several years. And in 2019, we were spinning the idea of a gaming platform because we saw the opportunity in the browser to replace app stores. I believe strongly in that. And this is a very good marriage between browser and crypto. It's like a match made in heaven. So in 2019, we were discussing on spinning several ideas. We had a platform. We went to a telco, several telcos actually. We wanted to be a product for telcos, but we kept failing. The sell process was not happening, and the pitch that we were doing was not good. And we were driving together from our city to the capital in a week, and we were discussing in the car, like, look, we have these different brands. Actually, there were domain names back then, just domain names, that WAM.app. And we said, okay, how can we make it? Let's rethink this, because we need to rethink and move. So we decided to pick WAM, 3-letter word. Everybody can pronounce it. It's easy to remember in today's advertising field, digital ecosystem. So we decided to go with WAM, and then we said, okay, hyper casual games are like amateur sports. So in this respect, we said, okay, let's make something competitive and make a hyper-casual esports platform. But what is the content? So the content is actually the hyper-casual games, but put on tournament mode. And this is how the basic idea of WAM got to be. And then we refined it like 100 times since then.
So you mentioned hyper-casual games. Could you define and give some examples of what a hyper-casual game looks like?
Absolutely. I'm going to start with the end. Flappy Bird. Flappy Bird was the mother and father of modern hyper-casual, but I would say Space Invaders is hyper-casual games in its own right. Basically, hyper-casual games focus on the mechanic and the score, not on necessarily player progression or story or graphics. So it's more about the mechanics and the idea that you have a very good, if you're skilled at the game, you can win. So there's no chance.
So from what I gather, there's a lot. It is a competitive element behind it, right?
Yes.
So would you classify games like Mobile Legends or basically mobile games, which is quite popular now, or even Pokemon United? Would you consider that hyper casual?
No, these are more casual. I would go as far and say they're a bit with their toes in the AAA section, and in the sense that they have a very different focus, very different target audience. You have people that are doing this, playing these games with a hardcore focus on the game itself. But what we said was, look, 1.5 billion players, and there are actually more players in the world, consider themselves casual players, right? What does that mean? I just play for fun. I don't care about the story. I just need to relax a bit. I need to pass the time, maybe connect with some friends, and why not, if I can, win some money, get some value, even if it's NFTs or if it's crypto. So this is what WAM is. It's on this side of a casual, simple. And I would even go that far and say WAM can be, I'm not saying it is going to be, we may fail, but WAM can be that spark that that makes crypto adoption like mass market, because we want to make it as easy as possible for everyone to use it and not think about blockchain and crypto and all that stuff.
Yeah. So you talk about adoption and everything, and I think everyone has been trying to push that forward. So how has WAM's adoption been like? Are there other stats you can share about your player base, the type of games you have, for example?
So you have to understand our background. So we come from creating viral games. So we know how to bring a lot of traffic. Our CMO is also very experienced in running marketing campaigns and affiliate marketing programs. So last year in February, when we launched our beta version, we were not on crypto back then. So we were still a traditional app. We reached 2.5 million users in 45 days. That brought a lot of attention. And we started talking to a lot of people. The users that remained in the app kept playing. And over the summer, a lot of them started writing, hey, why isn't this on crypto? How can I get a token? And so on. And the community pushed us towards crypto faster than we planned. So this is what this was let's say the roadmap of last year's in terms of users. Then we started the token campaigns, given that we launched on Gate in December. And since we announced the switch to crypto, we saw very huge changes in numbers, like from 25% day one retention to tops 61%. Now it's hovering between 49 and 55. and now we're focusing on user acquisition. The time spent on app, the total time in a month, between 49 minutes and 1 hour and a half, with an average of 7 sessions per user. And we launched the play to earn version in 20th, I think 15th of April. And in the first 2 weeks, we got like 110,000 transactions, not on chain, because we're still testing and debugging, but on the database, that was the number that we got. So really, really exciting for us. We still have a lot of work to do in order to reach our milestones and touch every point in the roadmap, but we're really excited because the community has been really supportive. And even if it's a bear market, actually games, and especially platforms with games, thrive in bear markets and in economic downturns. I'm just historical fact.
I mean, I can attest to that as a gamer. You know, market down, time to turn on the games, and yeah, you know, just play games. There's nothing else to do.
Yeah.
All right. So, could you share about what types of games you have currently, and you know how many games you have? Because I myself a gamer, I'm quite interested to maybe just start playing or observe.
Okay. Right now we have about 40 games, and there's the reason we have this amount. So given that we want to be a multi-sided marketplace, in order to satisfy supply and demand, we had to pick a side which we are going to service. And we make tournaments on a single game, at least four or five tournaments. That means 4 or 5 screens that you can swipe and participate in competitions. This means if you have 40 times 5, that's 200 tournaments on the platform without counting the reset time, like every 3 to 4 days or 2 days. So we have a lot of content on the platform on simple games. And now we've seen that on this type of platform with this type of incentive, where the tournament is first, the game is second in terms of focus, people tend to pick 1-2 games that they are best at and just try to beat the score on that game. So in this respect, we're going to focus on bringing a lot of users that play these games, and then with an algo later on, make the feed more smarter. Now, in terms of the games themselves, we're seeing these numbers with 3 to 4 year old games. Simple games that you play in the browser, HTML5. I love that technology. I love the browser. I'm a very big fan of it. So we said the following thing. Let's test with 3-4 year old games, put tournaments on, and see how people behave. And the response was like really, really awesome, because the games themselves do not matter that much anymore. The fun and the competition on those games matter a lot more. And if they were to be considered like dead content, all of a sudden this is new, fresh content that you can actually use. And we were really excited about it. And the partners that we have with the games that we licensed are really awesome. We're in a private beta right now, and we're gonna discuss a bit later about the developer program. But we have this in mind to onboard people who create a lot of cool stuff.
It's very interesting because from what it sounds like, your whole idea of the platform is basically creating a monetization platform for speedrunning, right? Because I think this is very reminiscent of the speedrunning community, in where gamers like to compete, but they usually compete through self-organized communities and forums. This is like a real platform for people to compete and actually people to stream and observe and watch.
We've seen, for instance, a lot of demand from NFT communities that want to do tournaments on WAM and give out NFTs based on the skill of a user instead of randomly picking them.
Yep.
So, yeah, pretty much we want to be that platform where you can, a playground. WAM, actually, do you know what WAM stands for?
No idea.
World Arcade Machine. So we want to be that arcade place. Cool. You come in and you see simple games, quickly create a tournament, invite your friends, play with crypto, play with NFTs. Everybody gets some value. The paradigm is shifting. So no matter what older people say or my generation says about games, things are changing, and WAM is going to be in the front run of how things are done.
I just thought of something. It really sounds like Mario Party. Yeah. Okay. I guess that's the question, right? Because from what I can tell, business model can apply to any type of game, right? Not just casual games, can apply to any game. So why hyper casual?
Hyper casual games are the ones that are most suited right now in the browser. Given that they are focused on mechanics, you have a simple engine that can run very efficiently in the browser. This means all of a sudden we have a bigger reach. We started as a progressive web app. So this means you can actually go on play.wam.app in your browser and install it on your Android from the browser, which is a web APK, or save it in the home screen on your iOS device and it just behaves and looks like an app. Also, we are in the App Store and Google Play. This gives us more reach and even better service to our users. And we plan to launch the desktop version really soon. So we have like all the platforms with a single technology, and developers can create these games faster, easier, and cheaper using browser tech. So this is why hyper casual, because they're easier to build, faster to build, and they run in the browser really, really well. And of course, right now with the browser advancements, more and more games will be able to be built, even more complex ones, 3D games, I don't know. They already exist, and some of them are really, really cool.
Would you consider other gaming platforms like Steam, for example, as your competitors? And there are also a couple of crypto gaming platforms like Sydney for once, which I think is very focused on betting, kind of like a competition style platform as well. What do you think about these projects, and how would you compete with them?
I have, so first, Steam-wise, I'm an old Steam user, so I would not throw stones in that direction because it's close to my heart. But we're not competing with that because they're addressing a different part of the market with a different philosophy. So not competing there. Other platforms I do not know. We're not in the betting area at all, and there's a reason for this. We don't believe. I never bet. I'm not a betting fan. We wanted to have a philosophy of skill and like you deserve to win. So our purpose is to make the platform as secure as possible, so anyone competing has a sense of fairness. Hey, you won on your skill or you didn't, not with a hack, not with a chance. So we wanted to stay out of the betting world. That's a different business, not our business. The guys are doing great on their own. They don't need our competition, and we're not competing with them as well. Plus other gaming platforms, other crypto gaming platforms. I believe we are all right now trying to innovate, trying to see which is the right angle to do it. There's enough space for a lot of people and a lot of projects. Some or maybe all will die. I don't know. Maybe WAM will die. I don't know. But this is something I cannot tell it will happen, but I know for a fact that we will give our best to make it work. And this is actually our life's, let's say, knowledge all compressed and put into WAM. Like we are a lot of people right now, and we're all focusing on giving the best value to players that believe this is going to be the next thing.
You mentioned earnings, right? So I assume a big part of your user base are people interested in playing games and earning some money. First of all, I assume they'll be earning the WAM tokens. So what do the WAM tokens do? So
right now, in order to participate in tournaments where you can win the WAM token or NFTs, you need to have the WAM token. Mm-hmm. So there's an entry fee in the tournament. The revivals inside the game when you're playing are also paid in the WAM token. Then we're going to launch the NFT marketplace, where you can buy and sell your NFTs on the WAM token. And game developers will be able to sell their games as NFTs also for the WAM token. You will be able, based on the NFT that you bought, to earn revenue from the tournaments being created on the games that you bought also in the WAM token. We're burning a lot of WAM token from each tournament entry. So we have a fixed supply of 1 billion, and the more users that come on the platform, the more we're going to burn. Each tournament, we're going to burn between 10 and 15% of the fee, the access fee for the tournament.
It's interesting because the model really reminds me of, like you said, it's a whole arcade machine. So it's like putting your coin in the arcade and getting some life.
You got it. You got it.
Yeah. Okay. So you talk a lot about NFTs. How will NFTs fit into WAM?
So NFTs are actually something that are going to be revolutionary. I really believe in the technology that enables NFTs to exist. And that is basically the blockchain and smart contracts. But I see them everywhere and implemented everywhere. We're going to have like a whole section where you can access tournaments only if you have certain NFTs. Also, you will be able to earn certain NFTs. You will be able to create some tournaments, some special tournaments if you own some NFTs. And we also plan to give a lot of utility to NFT communities that want to engage with their audience and their members on WAM in a decentralized way. Also, right now, we have a unique feature for the games part, for I would say gaming projects, and that is an NFT login. And this is possible with our partners from Unstoppable Domains. They're doing an awesome job with NFT domains. I really love what they're building. And right now, you can log into WAM using an NFT that you bought from Unstoppable Domains. And that is really cool. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
That is cool, because I think that is the dream of Web3, right? So people are, creating MetaMask accounts, be able to access all the dApps. You guys are creating a more gaming-centric focus with NFTs, but it still accomplishes the same thing.
Yeah.
So, across the conversation so far, you mentioned several times about developer programs. And I want to ask more about that. What kind of developer programs are you talking about within the WAM ecosystem?
We really believe that a platform is enabled by its users and its partners. And in order to have like really good content and just people that take advantage of the technology that we are building, we need a place where they can just, where we get out of their way, they can publish games that reach the community, and the community interacts directly with them. I would say this is necessary and required. We specifically stayed out of the game production game. So we didn't want to be game producers. This is not our skill. This is not our focus. We know how to build gaming technology and how to blend it with opportunities. And the opportunity is the blockchain and the crypto space. So we said, okay, let's give a solution and a platform that is really easy to use to people all around the world without too much hassle. And this is the developer program that we are discussing about, where you as a developer, you can create HTML5 games a lot cheaper than creating Apple games or Google games like native Android and iOS, just for the simple fact that the tech stack required to do it runs on, let's say, cheaper machines. You do not need like very expensive hardware. And secondly, you do the learning curve for JavaScript and all the frameworks that are needed in order to make a game is leaner than Android or iOS. Plus, the publishing itself, like how do you publish on the web? It's just a zip file that gets unzipped, and then you access some files and your browser knows. So all the process, all the lessons that we learned in the past 15 years in publishing web games, we're putting it into WAM. And we want this to be a very trustworthy and exciting experience, especially for developers, because we've been on that side. We know how games are being published. We know how hard it is. We know how bad the advertising model is right now. So in order for you to make money as a developer, you need to stuff your game with ads. So it's a miracle that you actually can play the game because of the ads.
You raised a really interesting point about the difficulty of building games in general. And as we all know, the crypto space went through a GameFi bull market for quite a while, for several months. But over the last few months, the whole thing has died down with the bear market. What are your thoughts on GameFi today?
So there are two different people that we need to address. GameFi and every trend that comes is basically, if you look at the hype it's about the investors in crypto that get excited about the possibilities. But if you look at beyond that, if you look at the possibilities of the tech side, what it can do, GameFi will unlock enormous amounts of value for people that currently cannot access it. Just think, like, you cannot add game payments in a game that you distribute across the web. You cannot put credit card payments, because if you change domains, you're going to have a very huge headache with payment processors. Then you need a payment processor and the contracts, you need a backend development, you need a lot of papers to sign. Whereas with crypto, you just put a simple line of code and you can distribute your games, and you make money, and this is it. This is what GameFi is actually about. And GameFi, enabling games to generate revenue and money for a lot of people, is something that has not happened before. So GameFi is not a trend, it is not a hype. It is here to stay. Of course, the models that come out of GameFi, or which one is the most successful one, we're still going to find out, because we're at the beginning of this. So this is why it's exciting, and this is where the opportunity is. Given that we're in a bear market, makes a little difference. GameFi is here to stay. It's an age where games will be more regarded as assets than just passing the time and paying some developer for having fun. You're going to consider them these games like exactly like your NFTs. Look, this made me this amount of money this month. Like the property that you rent out, right? You lease a game, you then sell it further, and the people who market it maybe generate revenue for you in a percentage that you agree in a smart contract with other people. So the opportunity for us to change how games are played, built, and distributed is ginormous. Like, I would say game changer, but it will take a lot of work. We're definitely working on it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. It's all very exciting. And I like the fact that you raised about the payment processing part, because I think not a lot of people talk about that in the space, right? Most people, when they talk about GameFi, oh yeah, there's the tokenomic structures and everything. But I think the idea of building a game and how easy it is to raise funds and everything is a lot of that can be achieved on the blockchain, which cannot be achieved in traditional space, which is great that you highlighted that, because I myself I wasn't aware of that.
Most crypto investors, I'm going to tell it how it is, are speculators. They are not investors. Yes. We are building a company. We're not building a crypto project. We're building a company that creates technology for the next generation of game publishing. So this is what we're doing. We're creating a multi-sided marketplace, which enables a lot of Web3 functionality, which gives the users the ability to own, the ability to generate revenue, the ability to compete. We're building some tools for a specific market. That is the games market, and with a focus on hyper-casual right now. So this is why it's exciting. Being on the speculative side just makes no sense, because the long-term opportunity is of such size that it makes no sense to focus on the short term, for us, at least for us.
Currently now, WAM is built on the Binance, BNB chain. Why did you decide this chain, and are there any plans to expand to another chain? So a current trend of a lot of games, for example, X Infinity, is eventually migrating and building their own chain. Are there plans for WAM to execute something like that?
I won't be able to divulge everything in this call. But regarding your first question, regarding the BNB Smart Chain, we looked at the smallest fees and where the liquidity and the community is. The reality today is that WAM is chain agnostic. It does not care about the chain, because we're DApp. So if you have a big community on Binance and you have it in, Avalanche or Polygon, for us is the same thing, because we just want to enable you to come and do something with the crypto, because all of the people in the world say crypto is useless, you cannot do anything with it. Of course you can, but this is where companies like WAM come and build on the infrastructure that the smarter people built years before. So in terms of chains, we're chain agnostic. We built on BSC because it's the biggest community, biggest liquidity, and small fees. These were the criteria. We had to decide. We were a bit undecided at the beginning because we have so many great contenders and competitors. You have Avalanche, you have Solana, Polygon. It's right now the focus that we have is to deliver on the milestones that we set. And I'm going to stop here because I'm going to go without wanting into the next part of the question, which is for later on. I'll just keep it a secret because the industry right now, the gaming industry, needs a lot of tools and needs a lot of transparency. For instance, one of the biggest problems developers face today when publishing, especially games on the web and in the apps, is that they do not control their revenue. Because if they monetize with advertising, the advertising reporting is not transparent, so you do not know what is going on. You do not know who is a fake user, who is a fake click, when you can get penalized, when you can get your revenues cut, how much is the revenue that you make. And all these are problems that we are aiming to fix, but all in due time.
All right, I will leave it at that. And thank you for whatever you can share. Last question for the day. Was there anything that I should have asked or that you wanted to share, which you felt that I should have asked, but did not?
I would ask you the following thing. Would CoinGecko be interested in having a tournament on WAM for the CoinGecko community to see how this machine works?
Well, I cannot speak for our team itself. I will have to bring this up to other my colleagues, but I don't see why not.
It will be fun to see.
Yeah.
By the way, there's something we're announcing this week, but I'm going to tell you right now because we're in the podcast. We're launching a secondary product, if you will, called Streamer. And this will give the ability of every tournament creator to stream their tournament and the gameplay from their phone onto their desktop, and from then on to YouTube and Twitch, if they want to share it with their audience, just to make it easier to engage with people who play. So I'm just like Premier telling the CoinGecko community about this.
Yeah. I mean, thanks for sharing. I hope all the listeners take note because, from what I can tell, there's a lot of opportunities here. Daniel, I think, just to round off the session, what are WAM's plans for 2022 and beyond? There's a lot of things that you shared, but are there anything else that we have not covered that you plan to do this year?
So we covered NFT marketplace, desktop version. We did not cover, we covered the developer program, which is already a lot of things, but we did not cover the game generator that we are planning to have and to build. And that is the ability for a user to take their phone, speak to the phone, and have a game being generated automatically using artificial intelligence. And there are tools already. We tested last year, so we have a working prototype. I'm not going to brag about it because I cannot show it to you right now. But in short, it's using NLP, which is natural language processing, taking your words, transforming it into instructions, and those instructions are transformed into code, and that code ends up being compiled as a game. And this is the part where users can contribute and create their own games and make money through their own creations and invite their friends into their own communities on WAM to make money, basically. So this is what we're aimed to build. I'm very confident that the team is able to pull this off because we've been pulling it off in the past 7 months, like on a straight.
Wow. Okay. Great that you shared that because I really like the idea of that. Building your own game sounds really cool. And I think that's about all we have for today. Thank you so much, Daniel, for coming on, and great to have you.
Thank you, Benjamin. Thank you.
For the latest crypto prices, visit our website. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to keep up to date on the latest crypto trends.